Here's where the Lakers are in the standings. Because they lost yesterday, Denver's got a half-game lead on them. Lakers win tomorrow, they'll be back tied again, and, things just keep moving. This is whatever the standings look like today, don't pay attention to it because these next couple of weeks are going to be, they'll be pretty crazy. I mean, 2 through 5 is still wide open. If Memphis keeps losing, a Golden State or a Clippers or a Minnesota, maybe they could kind of sneak up to that number 5 spot. But obviously, it's still fluid. There's a lot going on, and there's a lot of different teams that are all competing right now. With that in mind, I'll just say this in regards to the final 13 games left for the Lakers. You could potentially have LeBron and Rui back. You basically, as I knock on wood here, have everyone back for this final push. 3 weeks of the season and 12 games sounds like the perfect amount of games. 13 games left, 12 starting on Monday. Sounds like the perfect amount of games to get ready for this postseason run. Here's the beauty, too. LeBron got to sit out for 2 weeks in the middle of the season in March to kind of get his body right. Rui's obviously been out for a while. They can be, and they probably will be, more and more strategic depending on the standings, depending on who they're playing and everything else of how they kind of want to, how they want to close out the final 3 weeks of the season. But as we sit here today, they're a game and a half out the number 2 spot. You still got another game. I think they got 2 games. I want to make sure on here. They still got 2 games against Houston. They still got a game against Memphis. They still got a game against the Golden State Warriors. They still got 2 against the Oklahoma City Thunder just to kind of see what the Thunder look like. They're done with Denver, so both teams kind of really didn't show too much of their hands over these last 2 matchups that they had against each other. So with all that in mind, they're positioned really well. And guys, whether they end up, I mean, I'm a firm believer in this. I really do. I think they got to end up in the number 2 or number 3 seed. I'm trying to avoid the Oklahoma City Thunder until the Western Conference Finals. I don't want to play them until the Western Conference Finals. And I'll take my chances against the Denver Nuggets. I'll take my chances against the Warriors. I'll take my chances against Houston and Memphis and the Clippers and Minnesota and all these other teams. I think a lot of these other teams would actually prefer not to play the Lakers if just based on what we've seen so far, how good their defense has been. Luka and LeBron in a 7-game set where they get chances and time not only to rest their body and get right, and there's no back-to-backs, but to also dissect another squad. Is it just me, or does it feel like with Bron coming back potentially tomorrow, or let's say on Monday, Rui coming back potentially tomorrow or maybe on Monday, Lakers are positioned really well for this final stretch of the season. When LeBron initially got hurt, we didn't know how long he was going to be out for. Some people are saying, is he going to come back in the regular season? I thought this guy's probably going to miss 3 weeks. 2 weeks. Looks like right around 2 weeks. Rui eventually comes back. You got all these other players that understand their role. It feels like we can expect a really, really strong closeout to the season. Wherever they land, they land. I hope it's the number 2 or the number 3 spot. I think that would be significant for the Lakers to try to position themselves that way. Obviously, ideally the number 2 spot, so you could start at home for the first 2 rounds. And then, this is probably the best thing of it all is you're not worried about the play-in anymore. So now when the season does end on April 13th on a Sunday, you get Monday off, Tuesday off, Wednesday off, Thursday off, Friday off. And I believe they'll get Saturday off too, because I think they're going to want to put Lakers prime time on a Sunday, probably at a 12:30 game. You got a chance to get 6 days off before your postseason run starts. And that's with Bron already missing 2 weeks in March. So that's kind of when I saw that they're hopeful Bron and Rui come back tomorrow, I kind of took a quick step back. Not about tomorrow's game, not about Monday's game, not about this 4-game road trip, but X amount of games that the Lakers have before the regular season ends. What will the goals be? What will it look like? You go back to your original starting lineup. You go back to guys that were starting because you needed them to start to come off the bench. Any tweaks you got to make in the final 12, 13 games, figure it out. Something's not working, do this, do that. They'll probably slowly ease Rui back in because he's missed 9, 10 games or whatever the case is. I think the Lakers are positioned well here for this final stretch. All right, let's take a look at some of your comments here, get everybody's thoughts, and then we'll continue rolling here. Um, 53 wins still the target. How many wins they got right now? 43. 13 games left, 10-3. I don't think they're getting to 53. I'll tell you why. Listen, I might be wrong here. I think a lot of it's going to depend. Guys, they got matchups. I mean, it's not like these games are. Let me actually check this. I check maybe every 1 or 2 weeks what the strength of schedule is. So right now, the Lakers still have the third toughest schedule in the NBA. 2 against OKC. Well, where's OKC going to be by the time the final week of the season comes? Are they still fighting for the best record in the NBA? I know Cleveland's on a little bit of a losing streak here. They've lost 3 in a row. OKC is fighting for the best record in the NBA. And I think they think, by the way, if Cleveland doesn't lose 3 games in a row, OKC wouldn't have a shot at this, but this is kind of the reality of it. If OKC thinks we can have home court in the NBA Finals if they get there, then they're going to be playing those, games against the Lakers. They're probably going to be playing all the way to the end. 53 wins still the target, 10-3. I'll take a 9-4. 9-4 the rest of the way. We'll see. I mean, here's the reality. Lakers went 20-4 and were beating every team that you could think of, and the record didn't matter. So, BC, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. The Western Conference is so deep. No question about it. All right, let's see what else we got here. When it's in the cards, it all falls in perfectly. Lakers in 5. Okay. Yep. This is one about the game yesterday. Nobody really paying attention to it. I get that. I understand that. Let me try to find a couple more comments here. Arrested Braun is dangerous. 2 weeks, guys. 2 weeks in March. You got 2 weeks in March. I mean, sometimes I know when the injury happened, I think a lot of people were saying, hey, this could be a blessing in disguise. But I think the bigger question is, well, okay, blessing in disguise. How long is he out for? If he's out for 3 weeks or he's out for a month, I don't know. I don't know if that's a blessing in disguise. 2 weeks? No, that sounds like that's going to work in LeBron's favor and the Lakers' favor. Lakers and Denver are fighting to fall to the 4th seed. No, I think what you want in a perfect world, you want Denver and OKC going at it in the second round. That's what you want. Because, whatever we want to say about Denver, and I've said this before, I'm not that impressed with Denver. And maybe I don't think they're just cruising in the regular season. I think there is some real injuries to Nikola Jokic and the Jamal Murray, so I think that's a real thing. But as I sit here, don't you want those 2 squads fighting against each other and the Lakers getting somebody else? Whoever that is, right? If it's Houston or it's Memphis or it's maybe the Clippers upset in the first round, whatever it is. Don't you want those 2 squads kind of fighting against each other before they get to the NBA or before the Lakers would have to face them? Let those 2 go at it. Let those 2 have a fight there. All right. Yep. Record depends 100% on when LeBron comes back. Well, could be coming back tomorrow. We'll see. OKC is a great young team, but they don't have enough playoff scars. Let me tell you guys something. Until they get to the NBA Finals, that's going to be the conversation. And it's not their fault. They've done everything right. But a lot of times in the NBA, it's why people are going to pick Boston over Cleveland. That's just how it works. It comes with the territory until you actually get there. That's why people give more credit to Denver than they probably deserve because they won a championship a couple years ago. People are still holding on to that. So that's why, some of these conversations go the way they do. And, of course, they got Nikola Jokic, the best player in the world. All right, thank you very much for watching the clip. Just want to give a shout out here to one of our partners, the Wallace Firm. They are official injury attorney of the Sliwa Show and Hoops Talk, the entire channel. If you are ever in a need, and I hope you're not, but some type of serious injury with yourself or a family member of yours, I would like to personally help you by introducing you to the best in the business, Brad Wallace and the Wallace Firm. Also got a URL out here that you can use as well. Just go to wallacewins.com patreon.com/Sliwa. Thank you for their partnership, and thank you for being a part of the Sliwa Show.